Our regularly scheduled programs will not be seen at this time so that we may bring you the NBA All-Star Game live and in color from Los Angeles, California. From the Forum in Los Angeles, California, the 22nd Annual NBA All-Star Game. 28 of the best basketball players in the world, men like John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics at the left here, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Milwaukee Bucks. The NBA All-Stars coming up right now, live and in color on ABC. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you live and in color by the Buick Motor Division. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? And by the Schick Injector System. Simplify your shaving with the Schick Injector. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Keith Jackson at the Forum in Inglewood or Los Angeles, California for the 22nd NBA All-Star Game. I'll be calling the play-by-play for you tonight. Our commentator, well, he's a Celtic. He's a former great with the Boston Celtics, and believe me, we've got Celtics all over the place tonight. The head coach of the West team, Bill Sherman, played with Bill Russell. The head coach of the East team played with Bill Russell. His name is Tom Heinsohn. What is there about all you Celtics?
Smart, Keith, smart. But not really smart, because if we were smart, we'd stay out of coaching. But we got a couple of Celtic players, too. Havlicek and Collins are starting. So the Celtics are well represented all over the place, and I'm going to remind you about that from time to time the rest of the evening.
Bill Russell, this is a great moment in any pro's life. You played in an even dozen of these things. We have some fellows that have been coming in tonight for their dozenth appearance, but it's a moment that you never really forget.
Well, you know, it's a real opportunity to play with guys that are great. You know, are really outstanding. And not that your teammates aren't great and you don't work as well. But, you know, when you get a chance to play with an Oscar or a West or a Kareem or Jabbar or Walt Frazier or Cunningham and guys like that, you only get a chance like that if you're lucky, you know, once or twice in a lifetime. And so, and then the greatest thing that comes out of an All-Star game are the friendships that the guys make. That they get the chance to sit around and talk to each other. And they talk about ball a lot. You know, talk about how they play each other and how they play other guys and what success they've had with guys. And a lot of good things come out of it. I think the players enjoy the comradeship as much as anything in a game like this.
But they do play it hard because these are pros and they play to win. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the Eastern Conference All-Stars. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, making his first All-Star Game appearance, number 20, Butch Beard. From the Buffalo Braves, in his second All-Star Game, number 44, Bob Kaufman. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, making his second All-Star Game appearance, number 31, Johnny Johnson. From the Baltimore Bullets, in his second All-Star Game, number 21, Archie Clark. From the Cincinnati Royals, in his third All-Star appearance, number 5, Tom Van Arsdale. From the Boston Celtics, in his second All-Star Game, number 11, JoJo White. The Baltimore Bullets, in his first All-Star Game, number 24, Jack Marin. From the New York Knicks, his sixth trip to the All-Star Game, number 22, Dave DeBusschere. And the Baltimore Bullets, great center, third All-Star Game, number 41, Wes Unseld. Now here is the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference team. On the front line from the Philadelphia 76ers, his fourth All-Star game, number 32, Billy Cunningham. At forward from the Boston Celtics, his seventh All-Star game, number 17, John Havlicek. At center for the East, from the Boston Celtics, his first All-Star game, number 18, Dave Cowan. And in the backcourt for the Eastern team, from the Atlanta Hawks, his fourth All-Star game, number 23, Lou Hudson. And at guard from the New York Knicks, his third All-Star game, number 10, Walt Frazier. And the coach of the East All-Stars, Boston Celtics, Tom Heinsohn. And now the Western All-Stars. From the Phoenix Suns in his first All-Star game, number 29, Paul Silas. From the Detroit Pistons in his second All-Star game, number 24, Jimmy Walker. From the Portland Trail Blazers, the only rookie in tonight's game, number 21, Sidney Wicks. From the Detroit Pistons, in his rookie appearance in the All-Star game, number 16, Bob Lanier. From the Phoenix Suns, his third trip to the All-Star game, number 42, Connie Hawkins. From the Houston Rockets, his fourth trip to the All-Star game, number 11, Big E. Elvin Hayes. And the Golden State Warriors, from the Bay Area, number 32, Cazzie Russell. From the Los Angeles Lakers, his 12th trip to the All-Star game, number 13, Wilt Chamberlain. From the Milwaukee Bucks, his 12th trip to the All-Star game, number 1, Oscar Robertson. And now the starters for the West team. On the front line from the Seattle Supersonics, his first trip to the All-Star game, number 2, Spencer Haywood. From the Chicago Bulls, making his second All-Star appearance, number 10, Bob Love. At center from the Milwaukee Bucks, his third successive All-Star game, number 33, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And you can tell this is a Laker town. In the backcourt for the West, at guard, from the Los Angeles Lakers, his second All-Star appearance, number 25, Gail Goodrich. And at guard from the Los Angeles Lakers, his 12th appearance in an All-Star game, number 44, Jerry West. And the coach of the Western All-Stars, the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Bill Sharman. We'll be back with the opening tip-off for this 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game in just 1 minute. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just before the tip-off of our 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game, here to sing our national anthem, Mr. Jim Nabors.
What you waiting for?
We're waiting for the music and Jim Nabors and our national anthem. The capacity of the Forum in Los Angeles, or it is, there we go, our national anthem with Jim Nabors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the the star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jim Neighbors and our national anthem. As I started to say, the capacity for the Forum is 17,505, and all the seats are filled in the house that Jack Kent Cooke built here just in the suburbs of Los Angeles. And here are the starting lineups for tonight. On the left, the East All-Stars, and on the right, the West All-Stars. And Bill Russell, these fellows have the privilege of starting in this All-Star game as a result of the vote by the NBA coaches.
Yeah, this is two fine teams, Keith. And, you know, when they first start playing, I think in the All-Star game, the tendency is to overpass, you know, because all these guys are most of the shooters and scorers. And to show that their team, you know, to feel each other out, they sort of overpass. But they get down to it after a while. And you don't see as much team defense, but you see the guys work hard on individual defense.
We have a most interesting matchup in that backcourt, however, with Walt Frazier going against Jerry West. They're two of the great ones, and it should be fun to watch that one.
Yeah, they should actually neutralize each other. And I think that starting out the first quarter, I think that the matchup between Lou Hudson and Gail Goodrich should be very interesting. Because I think that Hudson is probably a natural forward, and and he's playing guard, so that he's kind of out of position. So he may have a little problem keeping up with Goodrich because he's so much smaller and so much quicker.
The West has the ball. The West in the light yellow uniforms, or if you're watching in black and white, it'll be the white uniforms. And Spencer Haywood gives to Gail Goodrich. He shoots over to Hudson and Goodrich. And the Los Angeles Lakers scores the first points of the night. Lou Hudson brings it up. Lou is number 23. Billy Cunningham on a give and go. It's inside. Good pass. And the shot put up by Dave Cowens, and he was fouled. The foul was on Gail Goodrich. Manny Sokol, right there, number 8, one of the officials. The other is Darrell Gerritsen. Dave Cowens on the free throw line will shoot 2 times. His season average for the Boston Celtics, just under 18 points a game. And he is the 4th rebounder, I believe, in the NBA. He is the leading rebounder for the Boston Celtics. Our score is 2-1, and now it is tied at 2-2 in the first quarter of the 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game. The backcourt men are Jerry West and Gail Goodrich. The pass goes in front to Spencer Haywood, bounced in to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Milwaukee Bucks. You can't miss him, can you? The hook is over Cowens. Back iron comes off to Bob Butterbean Love of the Bulls, and he pumps it in. So the West is on top 4-2, and here's Walt Frazier. Silky smooth out of the corner.
Now he's taking a Goodrich down deep, and he can shoot over because Frazier's a big guard.
Bob Love is inside against Havlicek, and it won't go down. And there's Mr. Cowens to show you how he does it.
The key to the fast break is that first pass out, Keith, and Cowens got that one out perfect.
Lou Hudson gets the basket as the result of the outless pass from Cowens, and it's a 6-4 lead for the East. The West with the ball, and that's Jerry West of the Lakers. Feeds it back to Gail Goodrich, who is wide open. He has a season average of right at 26 points per game, and many of them have come from right in that area. Billy Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers misses. Follows and can't get it. Tip good. Back Cowens.
You know, the big guys have a tendency not to screen out. And that's how Dave Cowens got that, because Abdul-Jabbar didn't screen him out. And then the big guys have to either get the ball or screen out, and they get real problems.
Gail Goodrich on a drive down the middle. He screams into the night as Manny Sokol says, Gail, you were shoving that defensive man. Can't do that. Gets a foul on it. Gail now 2 personal fouls, and we are at 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. The East leading 8-6 is Walt Frazier. Feeds it back to John Havlicek, who has not taken a shot yet. Great pass to Cunningham, and Billy blew the layup.
I don't think he expected that.
Handled it clean. Here's Jerry West against Lou Hudson, and Bob Love over Havlicek missing. Cunningham clears it out for the East. Billy C. into Havlicek. So it again comes off the rim, and here's the lead pass intended for Goodrich. from Jerry West and Hudson. Picks it off for the East leading by 2, 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And you're watching on ABC. Walt Frazier. Jerry West deep for the rebound. Jabbar does not have a rebound as yet. Jerry West all the way, and Kareem loses. Out it comes. Frazier.
Actually, the East, they're getting good shots. They haven't made any of them yet, but they've been getting good shots.
Another great pass, and again they miss it inside as Hudson had the ball slapped loose. And here's Jerry West in front court. They go to Bob Love. He is fouled by Hudson. Spencer Haywood gets the basket. Haywood is wearing number 2, Bob Love wearing number 10. Some of the players have retained the numbers of their home teams, some have not. Free throw comes out as the Sonics' big forward misses, and Lou Hudson has it, working against Gail Goodrich. Billy Cunningham follows and cannot get it to go down.
I think Cunningham thinks they put a lid on that thing. He's missed a couple of nice ones.
Goodrich dribbles it right into the hands of Billy Cunningham. And here comes the East. The score is tied at 8-8 as Walt Frazier unties it and gives the lead back to the Eastern team. Stolen by Frazier. Jerry West knocked it out of bounds.
2 great defensive plays right there. And those 2 guys are 2 top defensive guards in the league.
You know, Jerry West wears a size 38 sleeve. He's got long, long arms. West has had 4 turnovers as Havlicek shoots out of the corner and won't get it. Jerry West tapping to the rebound, goes to Spencer Haywood. Coming up at halftime, the first of the NBA one-on-one championship. Here's Haywood, faking. Well, starts his move, and a whistle stops it. Billy Cunningham gets the personal foul.
So far, Keith, the West hasn't been able to take advantage of their height, tremendous height advantage. They haven't played to it yet. So if they keep this up, they're going to let it be a real tough ball game for themselves.
Spencer Haywood averaging 25.5 points per game for Seattle, Lenny Wilkins Ball Club. We're going to see Seattle and the New York Knicks next Sunday at 2 Eastern Time on ABC. Havlicek missed it. Gets a second chance, misses again. Jerry West commits the personal foul. Well, the East, as you noted, Bill Russell, have had their shots.
Well, they've had some great shots. I'm surprised they've missed so many of them.
They're 4 out of 13.
And they're getting second shots, too. When you consider the tremendous height advantage the West has, that's unusual. But they would get so many second shots.
11-9, East leads 12-9. They lead by 3, biggest margin of the game. 8 minutes to go, first quarter. Jerry West up against Lou Hudson. Jerry works in there, takes it up, feeds it back, intended for Jabbar, and Kareem handles it. Hard pass to West. Goodrich almost loses to Frazier. Has to give it back to Jerry West. Now they'll go inside to Bob Love.
See, that's where they got to take the ball. They got to take the ball inside on this clock because they got such a height advantage. If they don't take it inside, then they're just not using their brains.
Bob Love of the Chicago Bulls got the bucket to make it 12-11 East. Billy Cunningham of the 76ers drops one through there.
He'll be all right now.
Yeah, he got loosened up. Billy C. Goodrich against Frazier. Bob Love. Spencer Haywood, top of the key. He shoots over Cunningham. And Havlicek has it on the rebound. Here comes the Celtic. Oh, great pass. Cowan missed, falls.
Not
He's
too
all
much
right.
contact, not too much contact.
Here's Bob Love of the Bulls. 6 points for Bob Love. Team rebounds, East 9, West 7. 6:45 to go, first quarter. 14-13. Blocked by Jabbar. Goaltending. Basket goes to Billy Cunningham. And we've got a timeout with 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first quarter of the 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game from Los Angeles. Our score, East 16, West 13. This Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the National Figure Skating Championships from Long Beach, California, featuring such stars as Janet Lynn, Julie Lynn Holmes, John Misha Petkovich, Ken Shelley. Super Bowl analysis with Joe Namath. He and Howard Cosell discuss the season's big ball game, football. That's this Saturday, 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time. Score is East 16, West 13, and Dave DeBuscher has come into the lineup for the East team, replacing Billy Cunningham. DeBuscher is number 22, and that's Mrs. Jerry West and son. All right, here comes Jerry. He has not scored in the ball game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar working against Cowens, goes up with a shot, basket counts, and Dave fouls.
That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to go inside with Love, because he's got great moves inside. Jabbar's got to overpower these guys in order for them to break the game open.
First basket of the night for Kareem, who is the NBA's leading scorer, and he got a rousing welcome when he walked into the home of the Lakers, didn't he? They really jumped on him. Fifth time the ball game has been tied. It's tied at 16 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here's Frazier loose on the baseline. Walt missed it. And Haywood pursues. It's out of bounds. It'll be West ball. Our lineup for the West is Goodrich and West of the Los Angeles Lakers in the backcourt. The front line, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Milwaukee, Bob Love, Chicago Bulls, and Spencer Haywood, Seattle Supersonics. Goodrich, short. Rebound, Cowens. Long pass to Havlicek, tipped out of bounds by Goodrich. I tell you, Mr. Cowens is only 6'9". He's about 220 pounds, but he takes up a lot of room under that defensive board, doesn't he?
He's a big, strong kid, and he's tough as nails. He thinks he can go through a wall.
Dave DeBuscher, one of the great ball players anywhere, misses on the shot, and it goes out of bounds.
You know, Keith, in most games, most of the rebounds are taken below the height of the rim. But in games like this, with these guys, most of the rebounds are taken above the rim.
The whole game played above the rim. Offensive rebounds, East 5, and the West only 1. The East with the ball, Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks, John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics.
You know, Keith, the reason the East is out-rebounding on the offensive boards is they know that they got to screen out because the other team has such a height advantage, and the West squad is not screening out. And that explains the difference in the offensive rebounds.
Bob Love almost losing at the top of the key. Goodrich is out of the corner. Missed it. Bob Love the rebound. Missed it. Bob Love's going to get another shot. Dave Cowens this time gets it out of there. Did it by himself. Frazier, great move. Feeds it to DeBuscher. Hudson, look what I found. Can't shoot. Havlicek. Blocked by Jabbar. 2 points. Havlicek now with 6 points. And the East leads by 4.
You know, that's a tough thing that John is doing, but that's what you have to do with the big guys. You got to challenge them, take those shots, make them block them. Sometimes you're going to get your goaltending call, and that kind of discourages them.
Well, unless he anticipates, you've got at least a 60% chance to get the goaltending call, don't you?
Right.
Love picks one up, pumps it up, and Bobby is fouled.
Now, I think the East guys are letting up. Now, they're not screening up because the last 3 times down, the West has got 2 or 3 shots at it.
And we have 4:58 to go in the first quarter with a timeout here at the Forum in Los Angeles. The East is leading the West by the score of 20-16. You're looking at the West team. Oscar Robertson, number 1, has pulled off his jacket. He will go into the ball game, replacing Gail Goodrich. Wilt Chamberlain is into the lineup now, replacing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are the lineups as Jack Marin comes in for the East team, along with Wes Unseld, a pair of Baltimore Bullets. The West, 47% from the field. The East, 39.5% from the field, but the East had a great number of shots in close that they've not been able to get.
Right, that roll around the rim and out. You know what's the interesting thing is that this is Oscar Robertson's 12th game. And 11 previous times he's been in the All-Star game, he's been on the winning team 10 times. And I don't think it's luck.
Bob Love at the line. Big Chicago Bull averaging 27-plus per game. 3 for 6 from the field, 4 rebounds in the ball game. Leads the West, both points and in rebounds. Comes out. Dave DeBuscher controls the rebound for the East. The East squad in the dark uniforms, leading 20-16. We're at 4:45 to go in the first quarter. That's Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks. Here's Jack Marin of the Bullets. Lou Hudson, the Atlanta Hawks. Wes Unseld working against Wilt Chamberlain. The shot by Marin, short off the front rim. DeBuscher follows. Unseld, beautiful pass to Hudson.
That's what the East is going to have to do. They're going to have to move their ball around and get it inside.
East is out on top by 6 now as Oscar Robertson of the Milwaukee Bucks brings it up. Goes into Wilt Chamberlain of the Los Angeles Lakers. Back to Oscar. He's wide open. Missed it. Unseld, Hudson, Frazier. West, the only man there. Can't stop him. And it's an 8-point lead for the East. Oscar to the corner to Bob Love of the Bulls. He's looking for Haywood. Gets it to him. Haywood against Dave DeBuscher. Beautiful shot. He's found himself this year, Bill.
Yeah, he's finally on the basketball court most of the time instead of being in court most of the time. So he's really having a great year so far.
Haywood is a
rebounder, too.
Oh, my goodness, he was 6 feet over the rim to get that one. Here comes Jerry West. Jerry's shot won't go. DeBuscher, the rebound. Feeds it to his teammate, Walt Frazier. That's off the rim to Wilt Chamberlain, who is the leading rebounder in the NBA. Jerry West on a drive. At 3:15 to go in the first quarter, it's 24-20 East, and Jerry West just scored his first points of the ball game. Jack Marin has it slapped out of his hands by Bob Love. Here comes JoJo White of the Boston Celtics into the icing Lou Hudson in the backcourt. And from the Phoenix Suns, Connie Hawkins, number 42, replaces Bob Love of the Chicago Bulls. So Mr. Love goes sit down. Here's the shot by White. JoJo just got on the floor, hardly warm, and got one up.
Well, that's a typical Celtic move. Get out there shooting from the bench. You know that this is the first time since '68 that the Celtics have had 3 guys in the All-Stars.
The East has had 5 shots at it when they take this one.
And they're not giving up yet either.
They will get 6.
This is what you call a saturation method. If you shoot enough of them, something's bound to go in.
Jack Marin has it knocked
Maybe.
Is that right?
Maybe.
Jerry Kapstein, 7 shots or 6 shots? 6 shots.
There's a whole bunch of them, I can tell you that.
Well, you were right, Bill Russell. You said they'd play it above the rim, and they have. Walt Frazier working against Oscar. Good pass to Unseld, almost stolen by West. 3 seconds on Unseld. So it's a turnover for the East.
3 seconds and 7 shots.
West plays it in. Jerry West and Oscar Robertson in the backcourt for the West. How about that for a pair? Haywood sets the pick for Oscar.
I'd like to meet the payroll of those 2 guys in the backcourt.
No thanks. Oscar missed it. Unseld the rebound. JoJo White 2-on-1. Frazier. Walter scores it.
That was a beautiful fast break, and it was set off by Unseld's quick release pass. That's what you got to do to get a fast break working. That rebounds out. Get that ball out of there quick.
Here's White stealing, and on a solo score, and it's an 8-point lead for the East.
That's teaching them, JoJo. Show them what the Celtics can do.
Here comes Oscar.
Now, Oscar was waiting for Chamberlain to break to the bucket then on the pick. No, like a give and go.
Connie Hawkins off the pick set by Wilt Chamberlain. Jack Marin ran into it and stopped cold. And Connie Hawkins of the Phoenix Suns gets his first points of the ball game, and it's a 6-point lead for the East. Wes Unseld of the Bullets gives to Dave DeBuscher of the Knicks, and DeBuscher hits one.
You know, I keep thinking that's a bad shot, but, you know, he makes it so consistently, I'm beginning to change my mind about that.
He's only shooting 62% or something from that particular area. They're all great marksmen, Bill. They really, truly are. Gifted, graceful athletes. Here's Haywood. Spencer Haywood. Spencer now with 7 points in the ball game. So the Big Sonic having a good night. And it's a 6-point lead for the East. The pass goes to Dave DeBuscher.
Ooh. That was a heavy pick that Unseld sit on him, and that's smart.
Yes, well, he's got the size. He's one of those fellas, as you said some time ago, when you run into him, you know you have been there. Jerry West out of the corner.
Yeah, the next time you come by him, you say, pardon me.
Yes, sir. It's now a 4-point lead for the East over the West. And we get a time here as we get more substitutions coming into the ball game. Here comes Elvin Hayes of the Houston Rockets into the ball game. Jerry West is going out.
You know, Keith, on that foul, you know, Frazier shot the ball up after he got fouled. I remember once we lost the game on that. The guy was going to foul intentionally. He threw the ball up. It went in. And he got 3-point play. We were trying to foul to give him one shot. They never 3-point play. We lost the game by 1 point.
Were you coaching? Was Red coaching?
Oh, no, that was Red's job. Okay. Not me. You think I take credit for that, do you?
Walt Frazier is on the line, shooting the free throw with 38 seconds to go. Cassie Russell has come into the lineup for the West. You saw him walk on, number 32 of the Golden State Warriors, the former great All-American from Michigan. The East continuing to dominate the offensive rebounding. Here's Walt Frazier. Basket counts, and there is a foul. Walt Frazier, 10 points, 5 out of 8 from the field. Foul is on Cassie Russell of the Golden State Warriors. And the East with a 32-26 lead, 27 seconds to go. First quarter NBA All-Star game from the Forum in Los Angeles, the home of the Los Angeles Lakers. First time the NBA All-Star game has been played in this building. Second time it's been played in Los Angeles. Frazier makes a 3-point play out of it. And the East has a 7-point lead. Offensive rebounds, the East 10, the West 5, as the West comes up with Oscar Robertson handling the ball. Connie Hawkins and Jack Marin in the corner working against each other. Oscar looks into Wilt, gives it to him, gives it back to Cassie Russell. Won't go. Chamberlain slaps it up on the board, rebounds it.
Just small steps.
And dancing around in the lane, there was contact made. I think Dave DeBuscher got tapped for the foul.
He didn't hit him about 4 times. But not very hard, though, Keith. Not very hard.
Jack Marin's the man who gets stabbed for the foul. So Wilt goes to the line, and the West is now in the penalty of the bonus as a result of the East having 5 team fouls. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wilt missing the first one. He is not a great threat at the foul line, though he has done better, I think, this year than any time in his career. He makes the second, and it's a 6-point lead for the East. 4 seconds. Archie Clark is in the lineup. Archie's shot won't go. Chamberlain rebounds it, and the first quarter is over. And at the end of 1 here in Los Angeles, our score, the East 33, the West 27. We'll return for the second quarter in just 1 minute. Let's look at the lineups as we go to the second quarter of play. The 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game for the East. Wes Unseld, Dave DeBuscher, Jack Marin, JoJo White, Archie Clark. Archie Clark coming in just at the close of the first quarter. And the tip goes up. Wilt Chamberlain for the West. Elvin Hayes for the West. Oscar Robertson. Connie Hawkins. Cassie Russell. Here's Elvin. Big E from the Houston Rockets. Gonna pump. Oh. Well, he shot it through a lot of limbs, but he got it.
You know, he's a great shooter, especially for a guy that size from that distance. He's a great shooter from outside.
JoJo White of the Boston Celtics answers for the East, and the East retains its 6-point lead. In the first quarter, the East had 13 more shots at the basket than did the West. 13. Connie Hawkins. Oh.
Makes it look easy, doesn't it?
He is absolutely remarkable at times, though, and he has a good day. The rhythm is going, and he gets the feel of things. Here's Wes Unseld of the Baltimore Bullets shooting from outside. The rebound to Connie Hawkins of the Phoenix Suns, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Oscar Robertson brings it up for the West team. West team in the light yellow, that's Cassie Russell, the Golden State Warriors, and Wes Unseld kicks it out of bounds. Here comes Bob Kaufman, replacing Jack Marin. For the East, Bob Kaufman of the Buffalo Braves.
You know, Keith, it's kind of remarkable. You take Bob Kaufman and Bob Love both. They went around to 2 or 3 teams, you know, before they found a spot for themselves, and now they're all-stars consistently.
That's right. The basket good for the West, and it's a 35-33 ball game, a 2-point lead for the East now as Archie Clark works. The East weaving it out in front to Busher, number 22. Bounce pass inside to Archie Clark. Wilt comes over to pick him up. Hayes guarding inside, and out of the corner, that's Kaufman.
That's a pretty deep place for a center to be shooting.
Well, he can play that front line anywhere, you know. He's a very versatile basketball player. Archie Clark takes it away from Cazzie Russell. Pass to JoJo White to Kaufman to White.
That's just what these guys are capable of doing. They can pass so well. That's what these games are all about. The guys are so talented.
Well, they scored 4 points in 5 seconds. Foul. Connie Hawkins will go to the line. Billy Cunningham comes back into the ball game. The foul was on Bob Kaufman. Cunningham, number 32, in, and Dave DeBusschere, number 22 of the New York Knicks, is out. Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers. Connie Hawkins on the line will shoot 2. Connie averaging 21 points a game for the Phoenix Suns. The first one is good. Connie has 5 points, all of them coming here in the first 2 minutes of the second quarter.
You know,
a 4-point lead.
You know, Keith, he's so smooth, it looks like he's not hustling half the time because everything looks so easy for him. But he worked real hard out there.
That's JoJo White of the Celtics. And Billy Cunningham. Archie Clark of the Bullets. Archie. So Archie Clark drops one through, shooting over Chamberlain. And it's a 6-point lead for the East at 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Elvin Hayes goes inside to Hawkins and is slapped away by Billy Cunningham. So the West will keep the ball baseline front court. In it comes to Oscar. Robertson against Clark. Flips it back to Wilt. Back to Oscar. Shoots over Archie Clark. Oscar Robertson. In the second quarter, the East 4 out of 6 from the field, and the West 4 out of 5 from the field. And it's a 4-point lead. As Wes Unseld shoots out of the free throw circle, and Wilt Chamberlain rebounds it. Run. Oscar Robertson for the West.
You know, Keith, in this type of game, you very rarely have plays. You just say, guys, listen, let's freelance, let's move the ball around, and let's just try to play together. When a man's open, hit him, you know. And these guys are so great. At about the middle of the second quarter, it looked like they've been playing together all the time. That's right.
Billy Cunningham, incidentally, went a mile high to get the rebound, had control. He was fouled by Connie Hawkins. First personal foul on Connie. It is the first team foul here in the second quarter for the West. And Cunningham goes to the line with 4 points, 6 rebounds. 3 of those rebounds have been off the offensive board.
I think if the West is going to blow them away, which I think they're capable of doing, they're going to have to screen out first. Although they got a big size advantage, they're going to have to screen out to keep the East squad off the offensive board, because you can't give a team that many shots, especially great shooters they got out here.
Billy Cunningham had 2 free throws because it was a backcourt foul. In the judgment of the officials, he did have control of the basketball. He was on the floor when he was fouled. Thus, it was a backcourt foul, and he converted both. Bob Kaufman forces Oscar Robertson into a bad pass. Here comes JoJo White. White now with 8 points. And an 8-point lead for the East. It goes to Chamberlain. Back to Connie Hawkins, and a whistle. Let's go to some slow motion and watch as the West comes to the attack.
What is probably the most dangerous pass in basketball is a cross-court pass. If you can't really make that, it's very dangerous, because that's what the result is. If you don't be careful in that cross-court pass, the most dangerous pass, and the one that coaches just hate to see.
Connie Hawkins making the free throw. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 8:18 to go. First half, East 45, West 38. Shot comes off to Hawkins. Almost intercepted by JoJo White. Cazzie Russell has it front court for the West team. Cazzie's going to gun. The tip, slapped out. Hayes losing the rebound battle to Unseld inside, but outside Cazzie Russell gets it. And the shot short. Partially blocked by West Unseld. And here comes the blue-clad East team as Billy Cunningham takes it in, and Cazzie Russell, or is it Elvin Hayes, fouls it. Big E commits the foul. Coming up at halftime with Bill Russell, we'll have a first of the NBA one-on-one championship. And it matches Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks and Don May of the Atlanta Hawks, and I think you'll enjoy it. Into the lineup, here comes big Bob Lanier of the Detroit Pistons. He is number 16, right there in the left corner of your screen. In for the West team.
You know, Keith, the East squad is doing what they're going to have to do to win this game. They're getting the ball down fast, and they're getting real good percentage shots usually, because if they wait to set it up, the big guys in the middle will make them have to take tough shots, and so they got to rush that ball up and get the good shot. Plus, they're playing good defense because they've picked off about 3 or 4 passes. Speak the devil, they've picked up another one.
That's right, and Billy Cunningham, nobody to beat, scores his 10th point of the ball game. Billy Cunningham. And the East now stretching it out to their biggest lead of the ball game. 49-38. In it goes to Elvin Hayes. Hayes working over Kaufman is fouled. Take a look at that theft by Billy C.
Yeah, see what he did, Keith. He stepped out of the passing lane, and then just after the pass was thrown, he stepped in the lane and off and running.
Archie Clark, number 21, down there to run interference for him.
Yeah, just in case, you know, the guy may miss.
East has stolen the ball 6 times. Turnovers, the West leads in that department 9-2, but that's the only place to lead. 49-39. Big E on the line. Makes a pair. So it's a 9-point lead for the East as Archie Clark brings it up. Bobby Kaufman of the Buffalo Braves, number 44, sets the screen. Beautiful pass. Clark to Unseld. So a couple of bullets combined for a bucket, and it's an 11-point lead for the East with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's Hayes to Lanier. Good shooter from outside. Cassie Russell shoots over JoJo White. Won't go. Cunningham beats Hayes for the rebound. East looks smooth, easy. JoJo White. Tipped by Unseld. Comes off to Paul Silas of the Phoenix Suns, number 29, and Paul calls timeout. So with timeout here in the second quarter, 6:38 to play. Our score, East 51, West 40.
For the West.
This is Keith Jackson along with Bill Russell. There are the leading scorers in the ball game so far for the East All-Stars. The East dominating the ball game, Bill, and I'm surprised. I don't mind admitting it.
No, it's not surprising in that they know they're underdogs, and they've got to hustle a little harder. They're doing more of the fundamental things, and they're really got their heads up, and they're doing the things that you ordinarily wouldn't do, you know, in a regular game, because they know that they're up against an overpowering team if they let them get started.
Cassie Russell scored the basket for the West. We have substitutions. We'll pick them up as we go along. Dave Cowens of the Boston Celtics back in the game. Archie Clark tries to feed it inside. Bob Lanier of Detroit kicked the ball. Paul Silas of the Phoenix Suns in the lineup. Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons has come into the West lineup. Cassie Russell stays in. Here's the inbounds pass to number 20. That's Butch Beard of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Billy Cunningham having a great night. Here's Tom Van Arsdale of the Cincinnati Royals. In and out on the shot. The rebound to Bob Lanier of Detroit. Feeds to Jimmy Walker. Down it goes to Sidney Wicks, the only rookie in the ball game from the Portland Trail Blazers. And it is tapped out of bounds. Billy Cunningham just proceeding for his 3rd personal foul, and there are the matchups as they are on the floor at this time. Dave Cowens can't get out from under all those trees, can he? He's got Lanier, he's got Jabbar, he's got Wilt Chamberlain to contend with. The free throw was good, and it's an 8-point lead for the East at 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here is Archie Clark. Clark's working against Cassie Russell. Billy Cunningham. Rebound to Jimmy Walker. Outlet pass to Cassie Russell. Leaves it for Bob Lanier. Good shooter. That one won't go. Cowens the rebound. Fires for Clark. And it's in the seats. Coming up at halftime, the first of the NBA one-on-one championship competition between Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks, Don May of the Atlanta Hawks. It'll become a regular halftime feature in NBA basketball here on ABC. Tom Van Arsdale of the Cincinnati Royals.
You know, Keith, with the Van Arsdale twins, you know, they're always on different teams. And when we were playing against them, I used to have to ask the guys, which one is this?
Yes, they do look alike, and there's no question about it. That's 12 points for Billy Cunningham, who just scored that basket. I'll tell you one thing, it's unusually very rare you find two young men so gifted. And the foul on Dave Cowens, as Bob Lanier put a good fake on him, got him up there, and...
Well, Keith, in order to get fake like that, you have to be hustling. Because you got to anticipate a guy taking a shot, and you got to gamble just a little bit. You got to move. If you move after he moves, then you can really go get in foul trouble. So you got to take a chance. And whenever you see a guy really getting faked out of the building, that's because he's hustling.
There is a piece of perspective for you to remember the next time you see one of your own Warriors sailing through the air and going into the seats. When you extricate him, slap him on the back. Say, way to hustle.
You're mean.
Bob Lanier on the line. Misses. West is 10 out of 15 from the line.
You know, the previous All-Star games in Keith, they used to have that you'd have only the scorers and the shooters in the All-Star games. But now you're getting a lot more of the well-rounded ball player in the All-Star games. The guys, you know, in the old days, a guy averaging 10, 15 points would never have a chance. And you got a lot of guys in here that are averaging under 20 points. And that shows how much more knowledge people have about basketball than they used to have.
One of the great all-around players right there just scored, Archie Clark. Here's Jimmy Walker gunning away. Air ball cleared out by Cunningham. High hard one down the court to Archie Clark. Here's Cowens. Pass to Beard. The Cavalier from Cleveland misses. The rebound to Sidney Wicks of the Portland Trailblazers. The All-American from UCLA. Silas, Paul Silas missed the layup. He was bumped just before he went for the basket. Here's the pass to Beard, and Butch missed it. He won his trip to the All-Star game on a coin flip. He's had 3 shots, and he's failed to connect so far. Here's Paul Silas, who lost 25 pounds. The hook shot won't go down for Cassie Russell, and there's Dave Cowens again.
The West is not hitting the offensive board at all. In order to stay in this game, they're going to have to hit the offensive board, and they're going to have to go inside. And they're not going inside. They're taking the fringe shots, and they do this, and they're going to stay 10, 12 points behind.
Dave Cowens dropped one through to make it a 57-45, 12-point lead for the East. And Archie Clark now with 4 assists.
See, Sherman doesn't know it, but Hines is outsmarting him. He doesn't know that. Those two Celtic guys really got it together.
Sidney Wicks shoots from the foul circle and hits. So Sidney gets one. And it's a 10-point lead. Well, why the West? Why is not the West forcing the ball inside, going to the big man? And Jabbar is getting ready to come back in.
Well, not only will they have to just push it in there, they're going to have to take the ball inside. In other words, no matter who takes a shot, they're going to have to drive, get some free throws. So they're not getting very many free throws. They're going to drive in and get free throws. And then they're changeovers. See, now the way they're shooting, they're not changing from offense to defense very effectively. That's why the East are getting good shots, because the West is not back on defense. That's because they're not going inside on the other end of the court.
Well, we've got a timeout called with 3:17 to go in the second quarter. The NBA All-Star game in Los Angeles, and the East is leading the West 57-47. In field goals, East 24 out of 55, West 18 out of 40, 3:17 to go. There's Walt Frazier on the left, sitting on the bench. Oscar Robertson on the right. Frazier with the East, the New York Knicks, and Robertson with the West to the Milwaukee Bucks. And let's check the lineups as they come onto the floor. For the West, Jerry West is back in the lineup. Jimmy Walker stays on. Sidney Wicks stays in. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar returns. Paul Silas stays. For the East, Butch Beard with the ball. Archie Clark, Dave Cowens, Billy Cunningham, and Johnny Johnson of the Cleveland Cavaliers now on the floor. We've got 2 Cavaliers out there. Here's Cowens. Misses. Out of bounds. At halftime, the first of the NBA one-on-one championship competition between Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks, Don May, the slick left-hander from the Atlanta Hawks. Who do you think's going to win it? Well, stick around. We'll show it to you in a few minutes. The first in our first-round competition of a regular halftime feature on NBA basketball on ABC, and the East comes up with another steal. Archie Clark looks at Beard, tries to get rid of it, bump from behind. Jerry West comes up with it. Sidney Wicks. West. Walker. Cowens the rebound. Whistle. Manny Sokol. Dave Cowens, Bill, has 8 rebounds in this ballgame.
Now they call that a backcourt foul. If he had possession, it's a backcourt foul. If he didn't have possession, it's a loose ball foul.
Right.
So if he's shooting, he's going to have 2 shots.
That is a judgment call. But so far, I would say what we have seen of Dave Cowens, when he goes to the board, gets the ball, he puts 2 hands on it.
Very, very firmly. Strong kid.
6 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists for it. Missed the free throw, and Abdul-Jabbar rebounds it. 3rd for Jabbar. Jerry West looks inside to Kareem, and Kareem on a drive. Misses. Silas. Jabbar. Slam dunk. 8-point lead for the East. Cunningham leaves it to Johnny Johnson. Slapped out of bounds by Abdul-Jabbar.
And furthermore, on top of that, don't come in here with that weak stuff. You know, that's what the big guys tell the little guys when they come in there. You know, with those little weak shots like that, you're not going to stand and say, okay, now, straight kid.
Cowens. Oh, beauty. Left-handed hook over Jabbar. 10-point lead for the East. Big youngster from Florida State. Co-rookie of the year last year. Jerry West looks to Silas. Goes to Paul. That's Walker. Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons. Sidney Wicks of Portland Trailblazers. And Sidney's got 2 buckets. And we've got a timeout with 1 minute and 46 seconds to play in the first half. At the Forum here in Los Angeles, our score, East 59, West 51. There the lineup as they stand on the floor waiting for this timeout to expire. For the East, Johnny Johnson's from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Billy Cunningham, who is the leading scorer of the ball game with 12 points from the 76ers. Dave Cowens of the Celtics. Archie Clark of the Bullets and Butch Beard of the Cavaliers. Sidney Wicks, number 21 of the Portland Trailblazers. Paul Silas of the Phoenix Suns. Kareem Jabbar of the Milwaukee Bucks. Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons and Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers. Top rebounder of the ball game so far. Dave Cowens, 8. And Archie Clark with 4 assists. And Billy Cunningham has stolen the ball 3 times, so he's the leading thief. Here comes Butch Beard. Butch getting out of the Army, playing himself back in shape. Here's Billy Cunningham. Won't go. East continuing to dominate the backboard. Walker fouls him. West had only 2 team fouls. They give 1 here. But that's the only one they can afford to give up. Billy Cunningham, number 32 in the NBA one-on-one championship, will be meeting the Buffalo Braves' Bob Kaufman. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're both pretty strong. They're both good outside shooters and shoot too.
Yes, I would say so. Beautiful shot. So Jimmy Walker gets his first bucket of the night. The ball slapped around and saved by Johnny Johnson. 60-53. The East leads by 7 as we go down near 1 minute mark to go in the first half. Lou Hudson feeds it inside and can't get it down to Johnson. Here comes Jerry West to Sidney Wicks. The big rookie shoots. The rebound, Jabbar. Back it comes to Walker. Missed it. The rebound to Johnson.
You know, Keith, that the East team has about 8 guys that can play more than one position. They got a lot of guys to play guard and forward. They got Johnny Johnson, Butch Beard, Havlicek, Hudson. All these guys can play, a lot of different positions, which gives Tommy Heinsohn a lot of options that maybe Bill Sherman doesn't have, because the West they only have the 4 guards.
Butch Beard just zipped that one through there to make it a 62-53 ball game. Ball is slapped out of there. Cowens involved in it along with Cunningham. And now they are at 25 seconds to go, and they'll try to run the clock down.
That was a clean block.
Yes, it was.
I guess Jabbar was surprised at that.
I would think so. 7-1 Jabbar being blocked by 6'9 Cowens.
7-1, huh?
Jerry West reaching around the back trying to slap the ball loose. Got caught. So 12 seconds to go. Jerry West getting his second personal foul. Just a few minutes, we'll have the first of the NBA one-on-one championship competition. More than $50,000. Let's get another look at Jerry West trying to make that steal. He reach around.
You got to have long arms to do that.
Lou Hudson at the line. Missed the first free throw. Gets the second. 12 seconds to go. 64-53. as Hudson pressures West in the backcourt. Pass to Jimmy Walker, front court. And a little acting job by Johnny Johnson, but it doesn't get him any reward. He just gets slide along the floor and a personal foul called against him. Take another look, Bill.
Now you got to have your feet planted. You got to be stopped, and he hadn't quite stopped that time.
So Jimmy Walker will go to the line for the West team with 6 seconds to play, and the East leading 64-53. Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks and Don May of the Atlanta Hawks coming up in the one-on-one. First of the series. You know, we've got another match coming up between Bob Lanier and Pete Maravich. Lanier's up around 7 feet high, and Pete, of course, is 6'4". That's got to be interesting. Here's Cunningham getting out of backcourt. 1 second. Butch Beard on the rebound at the horn. So at the end of the second quarter, we'll be back with halftime activities here at the 22nd Annual NBA All-Star Game. Right after these messages, our score. At halftime, East 64, West 54. This is the bracket of competitors for the NBA One-on-One Championship, which tonight becomes a halftime feature of NBA basketball on ABC. Total prize money more than $50,000, and the winner gets $15,000. And this is Don May of the Atlanta Hawks. He goes against New York Knick Jerry Lucas in the most demanding challenge to individual basketball skill. The NBA One-on-One Championship is brought to you by Vitalis Dry Control. It leaves your hair looking full, thick, and natural. This is Keith Jackson along with Bill Russell to bring you the first elimination match between Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks in the dark uniform and Don May of the Atlanta Hawks in the light uniform, and Don May has jumped to a 2-0 lead. Very quickly, the rules. To win, you must score 20 points. You must have a winning margin of 4 points. There is a 10-second time limit on the shot. The 3-second lane violation applies here. So do the fouls. So do the things like walking and pushing and shoving. NBA official Darrell Gerritsen doing the calling. The score is Don May 4, Jerry Lucas 2. Jerry has the ball, and Bill Russell at 6'8" against Don May's 6'4", and being a great hook shooter, would seem to me Jerry's got quite an edge.
Well, he has an edge, Keith, but not as big an edge as it would appear, because Don May at 6'4" is a lot quicker. Plus, he has better lateral movement, and you'll notice that he'll get around Lucas a couple of times. Plus, he's a good outside shooter, so he can't get up on him. So he has defensive problems, but they kind of balance each other off. That's why I think the game ends up a close game.
And as we pick up the action later, the score is tied at 8-8, as Jerry Lucas got that bucket on just simple hustle, Bill.
Just plain hustle. That's what the game's all about.
Here's the quickness of May. That time it doesn't pay off. Now watch Jerry Lucas. He's got to bring the ball out 21 feet from the basket. Goes in that time and gets an easy one.
That's what we call clearing. When you got to go out, you got after the other guy shoots, you got to take it back outside the line. That's called clearing the ball.
And they're working. Of course, with $15,000 waiting down at the end of the bracket for somebody to take home, it's worth working for, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to work a pretty good sweat here.
Score is tied now at 10-10. The NBA One-on-One Championship, you'll be seeing it on NBA basketball throughout the schedule on ABC. Darrell Gerritsen calls foul. Now you get 3 personal fouls, you lose possession of the ball. On the 4th personal foul, you lose possession of the ball, and your opponent gets a free throw, and there's a good clean steal by Don May.
Yeah, that's where the quickness came in. Pretty good shooter from outside, too. That shows it again. He knocked the ball loose.
And goes up and gets it. And that puts Don May of the Atlanta Hawks on top 12-10. Back after this word from Vitalis.
Keep your eye on his hands as Pete Maravich demonstrates some pretty slick ball control. Now keep your eye on Pete's hair as Vitalis demonstrates some not-so-slick hair control. Pete's wearing his hair dry and casual, and it stays that way with new Vitalis Dry Control, the supernatural. You know it's there. You just can't see it. Ball control by Maravich. Hair control by Vitalis.
We pick up the action between Don May of the Atlanta Hawks. May shooting and missing with a score 16-14. You've got to score 20 points to win, and your winning margin must be 4. And Jerry Lucas can't get that hook shot to go down. I don't think he really knew what he wanted to do there, Bill.
Yeah,
Russell.
I think it was between trying to make his man whether to take a jump shot or hook, and he took neither one. That's
And Darrell Garretson calls walking on Don May. I'll tell you, Bill, Don can't afford any mistakes, really, because he's given away size. He's given away the problems that go with a big guy shooting a hook shot. He's down by 2 points, and Jerry Lucas is only 4 away from beating him.
right, and there goes a nice touch. That's a good shot there. You know, he gets his head up real well. You know, that's one of the first things you do in shooting is, look at the target, and he does that exceptionally well. And he's got a soft touch.
Don May really needs one here, but he can't get it. Now, Jerry Lucas has the ball. Lucas scores one more basket. He's trying to end it quick. He had it halfway down.
He creates a problem for a little guy because he can shoot so well from the outside. He's not that bad a driver.
Don May of the Atlanta Hawks trying, missing. Now Jerry Lucas again has the ball. He's got 18 points. If he scores here, he's going to defeat Don May. And a foul is called, and we pick up the action now with the score still 18-14.
That was a tough shot. That was a tough shot.
Now,
Don May is all left, and that makes a tough shot because he brought the ball right to Lucas.
He also has 3 fouls, so the next time he's got to give up a free throw plus possession, and that time Luke again missed with that little soft hook. You could theoretically win it on fouls, couldn't you, Bill?
Yes, because 2 fouls will give you the same as a basket.
Great block, great block. Watch it here as we repeat it for you.
Good defense. Now, he anticipated that because he knew that May had to come back with the left hand. If May had had a good right-handed shot, he could have got enough pretty easy.
Give you an idea of how hard they're working as Jerry Lucas comes down. If he can get it here, he wins it. And we got a foul on Don May. That is his 4th.
Now he'll get 1 shot and possession, Lucas will. Even if he misses.
Jerry puffing.
Oh, yeah, they're working at this.
Missed the free throw, but the most important thing is he gets the ball.
Right, he keeps possession.
If he scores here, he wins it. He needs a basket to win it. He's got it.
You're using dry control by Vitalis. You can't see it, but you know it's there. You're using dry control by Vitalis. The supernatural, the natural hair.
Vitalis Dry Control. Let your hair look thick and natural. How am I doing?
Stick to basketball.
The natural hair.
So with this shot, Jerry Lucas of the New York Knicks defeats Don May of the Atlanta Hawks by a score of 20-16. And Jerry Lucas is the first winner in the first round of NBA one-on-one competition. Final score, Jerry Lucas 20, Don May 16. NBA one-on-one championship. Brought to you by Vitalis Dry Control. Leaves your hair looking full, thick, natural. Our score at halftime, the hustling East squad, leading in the NBA All-Star Game over the West by a score of 64-54. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Commissioner of the National Basketball Association, Mr. J. Walter Kennedy.
Ladies and gentlemen, all professional sports have legendary heroes. The NBA, the youngest of all professional sports in its 26th season, has its legendary hero. To be a legendary hero, one must be just beyond the superstar. A man of great ability, a man of great charisma, and more important, a real man. Such a real man, legendary superstar of the NBA, is the Los Angeles Lakers' own Elgin Baylor. us in professional basketball are very proud of Elgin Blair's great exploits on the basketball court and his contributions to the growth of the National Basketball Association. His contributions cannot be measured in statistics. They must be measured in the words and growth of this wonderful, wonderful person. And Elgin, with regret at your retirement, but with pride of your accomplishments, we're very happy to make this special presentation to you with the hope that you and Ruby and the family will look at it often with great affection and remember the affection with which it's given.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennedy. Thank the National Basketball Association. I'd like to thank the fans and the friends of the Lakers for this token of appreciation. Thank you very much.
The NBA East-West All-Star Game is being brought to you by Ford, who invites you to see all the 72 better ideas at your Ford dealers. By Dutch Master Cigars, made with 4 Latin American tobaccos. And by Rise, the lather that stays wet for as long as it takes you to shave. Let's spend a moment with the Commissioner of the National Basketball Association, Mr. J. Walter Kennedy. Commissioner, it looks like 1972 has record written all over it for the NBA.
Yes, at the halfway mark, we're about 10% up in attendance. Our television coverage, of course, has been a great help in that, and we're extremely delighted to have ABC do our games again. Our promotional aspects have been part of it. For example, there are 2 young men out here having won the NBA shoe contest, so this is another phase of it to get the young people involved. And, of course, we're just delighted to have this showcase of all, the All-Star Game with all of our great players participating.
Commissioner, a pro is a pro is a pro. What do the players realize from this All-Star Game?
I think the most important thing they realize is the pride of participation and the pride of winning, because actually there's very little difference in winning and losing. The winning players get $500 and the losing $300. In addition, all of them get a Lindy Star Sapphire ring, so there isn't beyond that anything but pride and delight and satisfaction and reward in winning.
You've done a great job. It looks like a great season. We look ahead to Sunday. We'll have the New York Knicks and the Seattle Supersonics. That should be a dandy.
That should be. The New York team this year has been in some real close contests, and we anticipate this is going to be another close one and keeping one tradition with the Knickerbockers.
Commissioner Walter Kennedy, thank you very much.
Fine, Keith. Nice to be with you.
Thank you, sir. We'll continue with our coverage of the 22nd Annual NBA All-Star Game from the Forum in Los Angeles in just a moment. We're just about ready for the third quarter of the 22nd Annual NBA All-Star Game. The East leads in this series, 14 games to 7. At halftime, the East is leading in this one 64-54, and there are the leading scorers for the Eastern team. Billy Cunningham of the 76ers, Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks, JoJo White of the Boston Celtics, and his teammate from Boston, Dave Cowens, both have 8 points. John Havlicek, another Celtic. My goodness, we've got Celtics everywhere. John has 6 points. Lou Hudson of the Atlanta Hawks has 6, and Archie Clark 4. For the West All-Stars, Spencer Haywood, Connie Hawkins, 7 apiece. Bob Love, 6. Kareem Jabbar, 5. Jerry West, Elvin Hayes, Sidney Wicks, and Gail Goodrich, all with 4. Looking down on the floor, as we get ready for the third quarter, my name is Keith Jackson. Big fella sitting by me is Bill Russell, who came to the All-Star Game 12 times. And once he wound up coaching unexpectedly, if I recall.
Yeah, Red used to have a nasty habit of getting thrown out of games.
Red Auerbach, of course, the former coach of the Boston Celtics. It's Dave Cowens for the East and Kareem Jabbar for the West. The West is in the light uniforms. Jerry West in the backcourt. Number 44 has the ball. Gail Goodrich, number 25, has it blocked by John Havlicek. John can't save it. Let's set the West lineup for you. The backcourt men are Gail Goodrich, number 25, Jerry West, number 44, of the Los Angeles Lakers. On the front line, Bob Love of the Chicago Bulls, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Milwaukee Bucks, and Spencer Haywood, Seattle Supersonics. Pass intended for Jerry West slapped away, but picked up by Spencer Haywood. His shot misses. However, there is a foul. I think it's Billy Cunningham. Or is it Dave DeBuscher? It is Dave DeBuscher. Dave DeBuscher, his first personal. Now let's look down on the floor. Billy Cunningham is not in the lineup. Number 22 is Dave DeBuscher. Number 10 is Walt Frazier. They are New York Knicks. Dave Cowens, number 18 of Boston. John Havlicek, 17 of Boston. And number 11, JoJo White of Boston. You've got 3 Celtics and 2 Knicks on the court for the East. Spencer Haywood on the line. You'll see him next Sunday as we show you the Seattle Supersonics against the New York Knicks from Seattle at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spencer Haywood with 9 points. Yes, Bill.
Keith, in order for the West to get back in the game, they're going to have to take the ball down the throat of the East squad. They're going to have to go down the middle, down inside to change the tide. That's the only way they're going to be able to get back on defense. That's the only way they're going to get free throws and get back in the game. They're going to have to get some free throws, and they're going to have to go inside and get some offensive rebounds. If they're going to do that, they won't get back in the game.
JoJo White up there on the line shooting. Bob Love committing the personal foul. Our score is 66-56, and JoJo White misses the free throw, and Spencer Haywood has the rebound. Here's Jabbar working inside. Oh, Cowens blocked it again. That's 2 times he's done that to Kareem Jabbar tonight.
Well, you know what happens, Keith? A right-handed shooter will bring the ball right to a left-handed defensive man, and Cowens is a left-handed defensive man.
Here's the hook. Can't block that.
Oh, no, that's a different story altogether. You know, Kareem Jabbar is most effective when he just takes that ball and go ahead and shoot.
Look at that little piece of thievery by Jerry West. He just reached out there and picked it right up. And Haywood missed the basket. Jerry almost gets another one, but it trickles out of bounds.
Now, what Jerry West is doing, he's playing the passing lanes. In other words, that's where the outlet pass has to go to a certain area. There's a lane there. And if you stay right outside of it, you're out of a guy's vision.
There are the matchups, and the officials are Manny Sokol and Darrell Gerritsen. This is Gail Goodrich, leading scorer for the Los Angeles Lakers, feeding to Kareem Jabbar, who's the leading scorer in the NBA. And he has now 9 points in the game, and they're going to the big man as Havlicek loses a fast break. And Jabbar comes up with it.
In order for Jabbar to be effective, he's got to get that ball and shoot it. He can't be fooling around with it, jockeying back and forth, because the other guys will then be standing around.
Here's Bob Love with the Chicago Bulls missing, and Dave Cowens the rebound. That ought to be 9 for him. Or is it 10? It's 11. Oh, wow. 11 rebounds. Pretty pass. Havlicek trying to get inside for the shot, and the whistle stops it.
Keith, what the East is trying to do, they're trying to get down before Jabbar can get in the middle and clog it up. So they're getting it down fast, although it's not a real fast break. They're just getting it down before the West had the time to set up their defense.
The foul was on Spencer Haywood, his first personal. And that is the second team foul for the West. Johnny Havlicek on the line. The Buckeye from Ohio State. One of the most tireless men I think I have ever seen. He has 7 points in the game. When you coached him, did he ever stop moving?
No, he'd run sometimes, just run to the stadium. You know, one of these days he's going to find out he can get tired. He's just going to die right there on the spot.
68-60, an 8-point lead as Jerry West banks one off the glass. And the West now is down by only 6. Havlicek comes down. Can't get it. And Bob Love comes out with it. And waiting for Jabbar to come down. Sets the pick to Jerry West. Almost lost it out of bounds. Here's Kareem with it. It's Spencer Haywood. It's deflected out of there by Dave DeBuscher. Here's the pass to JoJo White. Back to Walt Frazier.
Oh, that was something else. See, you had to try to get Jabbar out of position so that he, just raise him up just enough so he can't jump.
And Walt has 13 points, 6 out of 9 from the field. Here's the hook by Kareem.
Now, Cowens is going to have to make Jabbar go to the baseline. He can't let him go. He's got to overplay him and make him go to the baseline if he wants to just to contain him. He's not going to stop him. But just to contain him, he's got to make him go to the baseline. He can handle him going to the baseline, but going across the middle, nobody can handle him.
Havlicek's shot comes out to Bob Love. A 6-point lead for the East. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jerry West gives it back. It is slapped away, but picked up by Love, and Bob's got a shot and missed it. Goodrich picks it up outside.
And this is what the East can't afford to do, to let the West get this many shots. Here's
JoJo White. Dave DeBuscher following for the rebound. Loose ball foul. That's Dave's second personal. Take another look at it.
And see, that's hustling back there. That's what Dave was doing. That's one of those hustling fouls. But he kind of ran over Bob Love there, a little taste.
Whistle before the slam dunk by Jabbar, so there'll be no basket. Darrell Gerritsen, the man who made the call. And the foul is on John Havlicek. Kareem Jabbar, 3 out of 4 from the field in this quarter, 11 points and 5 rebounds. Shooting 58.5% on the season. And nobody in the world really believes he's only 7'1".
Well, I don't believe it, but there may be some people someplace.
Beautiful pass. Pretty work. Cowens missed the basket. Holy smokes, he had it halfway in there and it just teetered and came out. Jerry West.
Well, those big guys make you hurry those shots. It looks like you're trying not to, but you have to hurry because you know they'll knock it in the stands.
Here's Spencer Haywood working against Dave DeBuscher. Tries the back door, the pass to Gail Goodrich, and it's stolen by JoJo White.
He telegraphed that one.
He looked and then passed, and here's the shot by JoJo off the front iron. Rebound is outside, slapped out to him. And the East continues to dominate their own backboard. Getting shot after shot after shot. JoJo White, 12 points, 7.5 minutes to go. Third quarter, the East leading by 7 points, 72-65. Jabbar comes out to retrieve and turns around, and Dave Cowens is right there, relentless. Goodrich out of the corner. Picked up by Frazier, missed the shot. Now it's John Havlicek as the East in the dark blue, or the forum blue if you like that description. The Dave Cowens won't go. Jabbar the rebound, Jerry West. Jerry's shot, front iron. Follows, kicked it out of bounds. So Zeke from Cabin Creek, the great star out of West Virginia, in his 12th All-Star game, loses out of bounds. Here comes the East with Walt Frazier bringing it up, and Jerry will pick him up. Havlicek and DeBuscher over Haywood. Might go up. He almost got away with that rebound, didn't he?
Well, he was going over Gail Goodrich, and Gail is not the tallest guy out there.
He doesn't believe that, though. He plays big for a 6-footer. 6:44 to go in the third quarter at the Forum in Los Angeles. The NBA All-Star game, the East is leading the West, 72-65. This Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the National Figure Skating Championship from Long Beach, California, featuring such stars as Janet Lynn, Julie Lynn Holmes, John Misha Petkovich, Ken Shelley. Super Bowl analysis with Joe Namath as he and Howard Cosell discuss the season's big football game. This Saturday at 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time. Here's Bill Sherman, along with the trainer for the West team and the trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers, Frank O'Neill. And there's another Celtic, Tom Heinsohn, of the Boston Celtics now, and the trainer, Danny Whalen.
This is Heinsohn's first All-Star game as a coach. This is Sherman's second. Sherman coached the San Francisco Warriors, when they were the Warriors, the San Francisco Warriors, and then they won the game the last time.
Wow, you see Spencer Haywood go to the basket. That's called determination. It's now a 5-point deficit for the West. Yes.
I was going to say that calls, you call that a little jumping too, a little strength there.
I'd say so.
A little overpowering.
JoJo White shoots, misses, on the rebound. Haywood suddenly becoming a dominant figure. And Frazier stealing, giving the ball away to JoJo White, and it's out of bounds to the West.
Tell you one thing, JoJo doesn't mind to put it up there, does he?
No, sir, he sure doesn't. Let's check the lineups. For the West, you have Haywood with the ball, Gail Goodrich, Oscar Robertson. Jerry West is out of there, getting a breather. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bob Love. Oscar Robertson, of course, with the world champion Milwaukee Bucks. Bob Love's shot comes off. Oscar is right there to get it. Hooks it back inside. John Havlicek with a steal. Saves it to Dave DeBuscher, to JoJo White, Dave Cowens, and Walt Frazier. Here's Havlicek. You got 3 Celtics and 2 Knicks out there. Same lineup. Feed it inside, and it's stolen by Jabbar. Oscar, Bob Love, over Havlicek. Now we got a 3-point ball game, Bill.
They're taking it to them. That's what they got to do. They got to take it in there, and that's what they're doing. They're getting the ball out and getting down in a hurry. That's what they got to do to get in their game.
And we've got 5:25 to go in the third quarter here in Los Angeles with our score. East 72, West 69. On your television screen, you see Bill Russell's all-time NBA team. Elgin Baylor, Bob Pettit, Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, those guys are just so tough, and so they're head and shoulders, you might say, above the rest of the guys. But there are guys that come close, that is a bit of a step below. These guys are just...
Yeah, but I only counted 4. Who would you name as the big man?
The guy that's picking the team.
Well, I would agree with you. Out of the corner, the East comes up with a 74th point. And for Walt Frazier now, he has 15 points. So number 10 of the Knicks having a big night. Here's a beautiful pass to Connie Hawkins of the Phoenix Suns, and Connie stuffs it. And let's check the lineup now for the East as Walt Frazier brings it down. With Billy Cunningham back on the court, John Havlicek, Wes Unseld, and Dave DeBusschere. And Cunningham shoots, misses off the front. Inside the rebound is cleared by Haywood. Fed ahead to Hawkins. Here's Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons back in the lineup. Jabbar stays on the court. And the drive by Oscar, and he is fouled.
You know, it's the difference now that the West is coming back, Keith, is that they're going to the basket. And now the East is staying outside.
And you see the strength here of Oscar. He's a big, strong man as he works inside. And then the ability of Connie Hawkins to take that ball and slam it through there.
He's got great moves going to that bucket. He gives you a lot of motion.
Oscar Robertson at the free throw line, averaging 17.5 points. Missed the first one. The East shooting 39% so far, and 30 out of 77. The West 41%, 28 out of 68. And the East with the ball. Outside, Dave DeBusschere. Beautiful. And the East jumps back into a 5-point lead at 4:25 to go in the third quarter.
Now, the West is starting to take the ball inside, Keith, and that's where they start to catch up. And the East is starting to shoot outside. So they're going to have to go back to going inside and challenging the big guys. If they don't do that, then they're going to... Oh, some move there. Some move, huh?
I'll tell you. You need a posse to stop a shot like that.
That was some move. That's what I mean by a lot of motion.
We've got 4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining to play in the third quarter, and we've got a timeout in the NBA All-Star Game. The score now, East 76, West 73. Let's take another look at that last shot. Mr. Connie Hawkins of the Phoenix Suns.
Is that a beautiful motion? Like, he gives it a pump. Beautiful.
And we go back to live action. The East with the ball, and Archie Clark back in the lineup. Gives it away to Billy Cunningham. Missed the shot. Spencer Haywood clears the board for the West. Oscar Robertson, Jimmy Walker, Connie Hawkins, and Kareem Jabbar. Jabbar down court now, sets a pick for Walker. Drives off of it and scores. So now we've got a 1-point lead for the East as the West has steadily come back here in the third quarter. Archie Clark of the Baltimore Bullets drives by Wes Unseld, also a Bullet. Here's John Havlicek from outside, missing, and Connie Hawkins.
And they're taking all outside shots now, Keith. And that means that they're not getting back and setting defensively.
How about Mr. Walker? Jimmy Walker now with 7 points in the ball game. At 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the West has taken the lead 77-76. Archie Clark. Cut off by Haywood. And Manny Sokol spots something. Only 4 players have scored for the East here in the second half.
You know what happens to the big guy when he gets one of the little guys outside, Keith? The air gets thin.
Haywood committed the foul. That's Spencer's second personal foul. And Jack Marin has returned to the lineup for the East. Here goes Spencer Haywood out for the West. And coming in is Paul Silas of the Phoenix Suns, and Archie Clark of the Baltimore Bullets is on the line for the East. The West is leading 77-76, and now we've got a tie at 77. Oscar Robertson, Connie Hawkins, Jimmy Walker, Paul Silas. Wilt Chamberlain is now in for the West. Hawkins behind Wilt's screen, misses. Billy Cunningham clears it out. Ahead to Jack Marin. And Jack Marin gets that much of a lead on you, forget it. Jack has 4. Walker against Clark. Here's Connie. Shoots over Marin. Wes Unseld, the rebound.
Great outlet pass.
Jack Marin, wide open.
You can give Wes Unseld direct credit for that. That's a great outlet pass.
3 bullets. Unseld, Clark, Marin combining for the basket. And the East is back on top by 4. Oscar Robertson and Connie Hawkins. Connie working now against Wes Unseld, and that's not a terribly comfortable place to be. Here's Oscar working the baseline, gets his own rebound, scores, foul. What I mean, that he is strong.
You know, he's probably the strongest backcourt man in the league. You know, Oscar's a big 6'5", and about 210, 215.
He has 4 points in the game now. The foul was on Wes Unseld, his third, the 5th team foul on the East. With 1 minute and 51 seconds. We're inside 2 minutes, and Oscar on the line for a 3-point play. He's got it. A 1-point East lead.
Come on, good D now.
Archie Clark against Walker. Billy Cunningham's pass intended for Marin, checked out of there, deflected by Walker, and he's fouled by Jack Marin. Jack was hanging on. Take another look.
Now, these are the kind of plays that make your percentage higher, and this is what keeps you in the ball game. Hustling, and getting down there and taking the good shots. He got fouled just slightly there.
Jerry Capstein, a good Providence man, just reminding everybody that's where Jimmy played. Yes, sir.
I don't want to bother you about this, Keith, but he's from Boston. You know, the Celtic flavor is everywhere.
Good night, folks. 1 minute and 39 seconds to go in the third quarter. The score is tied at 81. And Jimmy Walker on 3 to make 2, misses. 2 out of the 3, and here's Archie Clark, missing. Rebound, Paul Silas. The new slim, trim Paul Silas. Oscar Robertson of the Bucks. Here's Connie Hawkins.
Super move.
West leads by 2. Hawk has 13.
And Oscar Robertson made a great defensive play.
West gets the ball.
You know, when you're trying to guard a guy like Hawkins, he's going to embarrass you. You just hope he don't make it look too bad. I hope he makes a great play so they won't notice who was guarding him.
So Holler, look out for the popcorn man and get everybody looking the other way when Hawkins has got the ball. Here's Walker. Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons. He has 10 points. Well, the fellas that do the balloting for the most valuable player are going to have their work cut out for them tonight as Havlicek shoots short. And Walker comes out with it. 55 seconds to go in the third quarter. West leads by 4. 85-81. Wilt West is out on top by 6. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Western Conference All-Stars.
They're ramming right down their throats now. They're just going inside and they're taking those high percentage shots. And you either get 2 points or a free throw, or 2 free throws.
Archie Clark driving for the basket. Foul committed by Paul Silas. His first personal. Here come the substitutions. Havlicek leaves. Lou Hudson returns for the East team. West remains the same. On the line, Archie Clark for the Baltimore Bullets, 5 points and 4 assists, averaging better than 25 points a game for the Bullets. The leaders in the Central Division. Ball club, coached by Gene Shue, beginning to find itself now, starting to play some solid basketball. Oscar Robertson and Lou Hudson against each other as we hit 25 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it goes to Wilt. Oscar. And Unseld clears it. 10 seconds. Jack Marin. You take them where you find them. as Marin got by Silas and scored. West by 3 points at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back for the fourth quarter tip-off in just a moment. Our score, after 3, West 87, East 84. 87-84, West scoring 33 points in the third quarter to 20 for the East, taken the lead after 3 and controls the tip. Paul Silas of the Phoenix Suns, Oscar Robertson of Milwaukee, Wilt Chamberlain of the Lakers, Jimmy Walker, Detroit, Connie Hawkins of Phoenix. That's the West lineup. Ball is slapped loose. It is picked up, and a whistle stops it. Back down under the baseline stands Darrell Gerritsen, his arms held high in the air. Loose ball foul called against Lou Hudson of the East, and for Lou, that is his second personal foul. First team, fourth quarter, just getting underway. Silas has the ball slapped out of his hand. Manny Sokol this time calls the foul, and here is a look at the leading scorers in the ball game. As you can see, Walt Frazier sitting up there on top for the East with 15 points. And for the West, Connie Hawkins with an outburst in the third quarter with 13 points. And Connie Hawkins is on the line to shoot the free throw. Missed it. Billy Cunningham right there to grab the rebound. Lou Hudson, Wes Unseld, Jack Marin, and Archie Clark. We've got 3 bullets, a Hawk and a 76er out there for the East team. Archie in a little deep, has to get out in a hurry. Ball bounces off the shoulder of Lou Hudson, and it's picked up by Connie Hawkins. West with the ball, leading by 3 points. 22nd annual NBA All-Star game, and that's Jimmy Walker of the Detroit Pistons on the follow. The follow by Silas 2 times, and the whistle.
Keith, you know what the East squad is doing now? They're overpassing. No guy wants to mess up the time when the game's tight, so they're overpassing instead of being loose. Taking the shot when you got them, but they still have to take it into the big guys. They got to take it into the bucket.
3 personal fouls on Lou Hudson, and Billy Cunningham goes off the floor. Dave Cowens comes back in. Wes Unseld leaves the lineup, and Bob Kaufman of the Buffalo Braves comes back into the ball game. Well, I think we've reached the point, too, Bill Russell, where everybody's played now. Let's get on with the business of trying to win it.
Yeah, now the coaches have started trying to get the favorable matchups. You know, and guys that can handle other guys and all this kind of stuff, or whatever you want to call it. But the basic thing is the winning team will have to take it and run it down the other team's throat. That's what they're going to have to do.
Paul Silas gets 1 out of the 2 free throws. West leads by 4. Here's Jack Marin in the corner. Pretty play by Jack. Now it's a 2-point West lead. As Hawkins handles the ball behind his back. Oscar Robertson against Marin. Beat it inside. Beautiful block in there by Cowens. Chamberlain trying to take it up. Bob Kaufman behind him, and Dave Cowens in front of him, and Kaufman is called for the personal foul. And probably 3 now.
See, if you're going to shoot the free throw, you're going to pay for it. They hit him pretty good that time.
Well, now, let's see. We've got 10:52 to play, and it shows 4 team fouls. Wilt Chamberlain in the game, 3 points, 5 rebounds. Missed the free throw. Missed the free throw. Comes way out, though, and slapped out by the East rebounders, picked up by Silas for the West. Oscar, Silas, missed it. Paul never really had control of it, couldn't roll it up. Here's Jack Marin. Bob Kaufman. Good pass to Hudson. Partially blocked by Oscar. Rebound, Walker. Or is it Silas? Silas. Oh, look out, Oscar. Got it.
There's a guy doing it all.
7 points.
He blocked the shot the other end and come down and score on the other end. That's a guy supposed to be all offense, too. He's been playing great defense this year.
Yes, he has. East of the attack in the dark blue, Archie Clark. Comes out. Oscar fighting.
They're not really getting good shots to the East now.
Silas has it blocked by Hudson brilliantly. And Archie Clark comes out with it for the East. 9:50 to go. West ahead by 4 points. Jack Marin with a howitzer.
They're going to have to hit a high percentage of those. They're going to stay in this one.
That must have been a good 30 feet. 9:42 to go in the ball game here in Los Angeles. And our score, the West 90, the East 88. This Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, some really spectacular competition and performance. The National Figure Skating Championships from the Long Beach Arena in California, featuring such stars as Janet Lynn and Julia Lynn Holmes. In the senior women's figure skating, John Misha Petkovich and young Ken Shelley. In the senior men's, and Joe Namath, Super Bowl analysis with Howard Cosell discussing the season's big football game. Wide World of Sports this coming Saturday, 5 Eastern and Pacific and 4 Central Time. And you're looking at the lineup as they come out onto the floor. Cassie Russell in there for the West, number 32, handling the ball. Jimmy Walker stays in. Walker been very prominent in the West fortune here in the second half. Here it goes to Wilt. Wilt working against Dave Cowens, goes over with a finger roll. And the West has 92, East 88. Now let's see whether or not Chamberlain can become the intimidating defensive factor as the East comes to the attack, whether or not he forces the East to continue to shoot from outside. He comes out to pick up Cowens. Dave drives and scores. Well, Tom Heinsohn says that, you know, his big guy is only 6'9", but he's quicker than most 6'9" people.
You know, I like that, only 6'9".
Yeah. Yeah. Here's Jimmy Walker, Detroit Pistons. Pumps it up short. Cassie Russell, the Golden State Warriors, saves it. He'll fire. I'll guarantee you he'll fire. And he got it. West continues to lead by 4, and they steal the ball. Big E, Elvin Hayes in the lineup, number 11. They look at him, but can't find him. Go to Russell. Cassie gunning away. 2 for 2. He came back into the lineup. He has 8 points, and the West pulls ahead to a 6-point lead with 8:15 to play in the game. Coming up Sunday, the Seattle Supersonics and the New York Knicks at 2 Eastern Standard Time on ABC as Dave Cowens shoots and misses and Chamberlain rebounds it. Russell against Hudson. Elvin Hayes.
Elvin says, you guys better get here pretty quick and I'll have to shoot it.
Cassie saved it, and Archie Clark got caught in the tangle, and the foul is going to be on Archie. Here's a look at the foul, Bill.
Yeah, Archie just caught in the middle of it, and he didn't know what to do. So he says, well, I might as well grab him.
In the first quarter, the East scored 33 points, led 33-27. Halftime, it was 64-54. Cassie Russell on the line, gets it, 97-90. At the end of 3 quarters, it was 87-84. The West had taken the lead, and they spurted to that lead with a 33-20 third quarter. So the 2 free throws, and the West now with its biggest lead of the ball game, 8 points, 98-90. And it's Bob Kaufman, number 44 of Buffalo, leaving for Jack Marin. Jack trying to get by Sidney Wicks of the Portland Trail Blazers, and Wicks fouled him.
Keith, I think you'll notice that all of East shots are from 15 feet or further out, most of the shots. So they're not going inside and challenging the guys and passing the ball off after getting there or taking the shot, getting free throws. And then they're able to get back on defense. So they're still shooting the fringe shots, and they can't get back in the game shooting the fringe shots.
Jack Marin makes the free throw. Dave DeBuscher, number 22, having come into the lineup. Jerry West is back in for the West team, handling the ball, taking it all the way to the baseline. Goes inside to Wilt Chamberlain. He gives it to Cassie Russell, and Cassie's loose. Misses. Look at that fella, Dave Cowens, go up for that ball. Lead pass from DeBuscher ahead to Marin, back to Dave. You could almost feel that one coming. The rhythm was there all the way, wasn't it?
Right, and they're running down. As long as they can do that, they can get in the game. They got to go down and get the good shot before the other team has a chance to set up. Because they let the big guy set up in the middle, they're going to have to take the 15, 20 footers.
Jerry West brings it up. The West leading by 5, 98-93. Sidney Wicks, the only rookie in the game, going to shoot it over Marin. Wilt Chamberlain inside with a rebound. When Wilt gets it that close, it's pretty hard to handle him. And it's a 7-point lead for the West. Archie Clark feeds his teammate. Jack Marin comes back to Arch. Cassie Russell picks him up. Ball loose from DeBuscher. Saved, however, by Hudson to Marin. Out in front. Jerry West finally gets a handle on it. Here's Sidney Wicks. Air ball. Rebound, Cowens. And he gets the ball to midcourt in a hurry. 14 rebounds, but Jerry West steals it. He's been averaging just under 10 steals a game this season for the Lakers, who've won 41 of 46. And he has 4 in this game. The West still can't get it to drop as Clark finally comes out with it. Look at Cassie Russell come down there and pick some pockets, but he traveled with the ball. Well, it's Elvin Hayes. Big E, Elvin Hayes. Cassie almost got it coming off the sidelines, and then Elvin pursued it. Now watch, you'll see him get a hold of it, but never really control it. And walk with the ball.
Just little steps. He figured that didn't really count since he didn't cover much ground.
Whistle before the shot, I do believe. He looked at Sidney Wicks. John Havlicek, number 17, coming back in for the East. He replaces Jack Marin. Third foul on Sidney Wicks. So we got a Celtic for a bullet for the East squad, and Baltimore's Archie Clark is on the line.
Archie's having the best year he's had since he's been in the league. He's having an outstanding year.
First game we did back on the Thanksgiving weekend, we saw Archie have a 40-point day, which was a new career high for him. Baltimore game against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, that was the day he told us. He said that I really am the most underrated player in the league. Remember that?
Yeah. All right, the score as Archie converts at the free throw line is 100-95, a 5-point West lead, and we've got fives all over the place. 5:50 to play in a ball game, and here comes Jerry West. Cassie Russell after the whistle. Now let's check the lineups for you as the ball goes out of bounds to the East. It'll be Walt Frazier and JoJo White in the court for the East. Dave Cowens, John Havlicek, and Dave DeBuscher on the front line. Frazier won't go. Rebound, Sidney Wicks, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Elvin Hayes, and Cassie Russell. Wicks almost losing it. Offensive foul is called on Elvin Hayes as he tried to work for position inside his second personal. And in team fouls for the West, that's 2. The East already gone past the 5 team fouls. So with 5:20 to go in a ball game, the West leads 100-95. The East in the dark blue with the ball, and Dave Cowens trying to move, and Manny Sokol Manny's suddenly looking inside. He's finding all kinds of things happening in there.
Yeah, they're using a little contact in there. Oscar kind of bumped JoJo pretty good, and but that's what they're going to have to do. Remember I said this is a contact sport. You know, football's a collision sport. This is contact, and they give real good contact here, too, with no pads.
JoJo misses the free throw. Here's it out. Oscar has it front court. Wilt. And the foul on White. JoJo couldn't stop. Can't fly, had to fall. He fell right on Wilt's back. Another look at it.
He's breaking right in there to the hoop.
He danced a little, too, didn't he?
Yeah, he only hit him about 3 times, though. He hit him on the way up once and on the way down 3 times.
Wilt missed the first free throw. He's 2 for 6 from the line. 101-95, 6-point lead as Cowens shoots for the East. John Havlicek trying to save it, can't do it. And the folks who buy those high-price seats on the sidelines got directly involved in the game that time.
Yeah, get a little sweat on them. They say, well, I was part of the game. I got sweated on.
Yep. 4:50 to go in the game. West leading 101-95. And a foul, I believe, on Walt Frazier. Program being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow local stations to identify themselves. 7 points in the game for Oscar Robertson. He's at the line, short off the front rim. So he'll get another shot at it. The East has now committed 7 team fouls. Oscar is 1 out of 4, and now 2 out of 5 from the charity line. And the West leads by 7 points as Frazier brings it down, and time becomes a factor. 4:40 to play. It's picked off by Spencer Haywood for the West. Ahead to Jerry West. Hit hard by Walt Frazier. And foul, Walter.
See, that's a classic confrontation, those two guys, Frazier and West playing against each other.
It's the second personal foul on Frazier.
Now, they're both so much alike. They both play great defense. They're great offensive players. And what's really more important is those guys never miss in the last quarter. They go down in the last quarter and they want the ball too. And they go in there, no matter what the situation, they're great shooters under pressure.
I see what you did. Jerry just missed that.
That figures.
6 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. He has now 7 points as he makes the second free throw. 4.5 minutes to go in a ball game. It's an 8-point lead for the West team. JoJo White looking for some room. Feeds it inside to Havlicek. He's cut off by Oscar Robertson. Oscar is called for the foul.
And you see on that foul, Oscar didn't draw blood, so he figures that's really not a foul. That's a little cheap if you don't draw blood or at least raise a bump on him.
Second personal on Oscar. And the 4th team foul on the West, and we've got a tie here at the Forum in Los Angeles, California, with 4:24 to play in the ball game. Our score, West 103, East 95. Back for the final exciting moments. As John Havlicek goes to the free throw line for the East team, check the East lineup. Dave DeBuscher, JoJo White, Dave Cowan, Walt Frazier. For the West, Jerry West, Spencer Haywood, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, and Cazzie Russell. John Havlicek totals 9, 4:20 to go in a ball game. West leads 103-96. Oscar Robertson and Jerry West, the backcourt men. Bill Sherman, coach, Western All-Stars.
Clear, Dave.
Spencer Haywood puts it up. And Jerry West comes out of there with it. 5 rebounds for Jerry West. Oscar, Walt Frazier. Back to Haywood. Blocked, taken away by Dave DeBuscher.
That was an outstanding defensive play. They each played good defense on that sequence. Real good defense.
White. In and out. Rebound. Dave DeBuscher. JoJo leaves it off to Walt. Worked hard for it, can't get it down. Slap it out, whistle. Loose ball foul called on somebody.
Dave Cowens.
Dave Cowens. 4 personal fouls. They are in the bonus situation, so they march to the other end of the court. Dave Cowens shaking his head, and Wilt Chamberlain heading for the free throw line. Wilt Chamberlain with 8 points and 2 out of 6 from the free throw line. Yes, Bill?
I think it's interesting to note in the last...
Missed 2. He's 2 for 8 from the free throw line. Jerry West comes up with another steal. That's 5 times. He's stolen the ball tonight.
You see, the reason he's only got 5, he hadn't played the whole game. If he played the whole game like he usually does for the Lakers, he'd have his 10.
That's probably very true. But they do not score. And the East comes back. And Jerry comes up with number 6. Dave Cowan. West score. 9 points. 6 steals. Ball got away, but DeBuscher picked it up and dropped it through. Any comments, Bill, on why Wilt Chamberlain's gone the 4th quarter?
Why what?
Why Wilt Chamberlain has played most of the quarter instead of Kareem Jabbar?
Well, I think Wilt is much better defensively. And I think that in order to break a game open, you got to stop the other guys. Not only do you have to score, but you got to stop the other guys. And Sherman has guys out there that can score for him. And so by putting Wilt in the middle there, he can slow down the other guys and make them take that outside shot, which is not a good percentage shot.
Okay, Wilt Chamberlain on a loose ball foul. That's his first personal of the ball game, the 5th team foul on the West. And Billy Cunningham will go to the free throw line to shoot for the East. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the ball game. And part of the crowd of 17,505 now beginning to stir around a little bit. Billy Cunningham with 12 points. He has 10 rebounds. Missed the first free throw. And time called by the East team with only 2:25 left to play at the 22nd annual NBA All-Star Game. Our score, West 105, East 98. As we come on to the floor now for resumption of play at 2:25 to go in a ball game. On the free throw line will be Billy Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers, right there.
He's going to give him a break. He's going to shoot this one left-handed.
He missed it. Rebound cleared by Dave Cowens and Oscar Robertson, trying to steal the ball away. Dave Cowan, 15 rebounds in the ball game, and Oscar gets nabbed with a foul, number 1 of the Milwaukee Bucks for the West. The East team, Dave DeBuscher, Billy Cunningham, Dave Cowens, John Havlicek, and Walt Frazier. For the West, it's Haywood, Chamberlain, Robertson, West, Russell, and Cowens makes the first free throw. Game is not over at all, 105-99. We've got 2:24 to play. The East hits 100. It's a 5-point West lead, 105-100, and Cassie Russell trying to get out of backcourt. Billy Cunningham pressing it. Cassie's got room. Cowan, 16 rebounds. Walt Frazier up court for the East. Cunningham almost lost it to West. Billy drives and a foul.
That's what he's got to do. That was a good play. See, he went by the bucket and he went under to make Chamberlain have to go through the backboard, so to speak, or through the rim in order to block it. But that's what they got to do. So you can pick up fouls that way or either a good shot.
And for Wilt, that's his second personal foul. 2:03 to go in the game, and Cunningham makes the first one. It's now a 4-point West lead. Well, for a moment it looked almost comfortable. But now it does not look comfortable at all. Only a 3-point lead, 105-102. And the East pressing. Russell gets the inbounds play. Here's Oscar trying to get it up against John Havlicek. West leads by 3. We go inside 2 minutes at 1:55 to play. Oscar trying to take it all away, and coming from the back door, Billy Cunningham. Havlicek was there. Who got the foul? Billy Cunningham. And for Billy, that's 4. There he is. He was a big man on campus at Chapel Hill in those collegiate days.
You know, this guy, Oscar, has been in, this is his 12th All-Star game, and he's been on 10 winning teams so far. I wonder if he's got anything to do with it.
He's played on a lot of winning teams in a lot of places, that fellow. He makes the first free throw and gives the West a 4-point lead. Yes, you get the bonus shot. 3 to make 2. East has committed 10 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Got a lot of them early. Oh, he missed 2 out of the 3. So the East with the ball as Walt Frazier comes out of there trailing by 4 points in 1:45 to play. Jerry West after him. Havlicek, top of the key. Now the West leads by only 2. And the East pressing full court. Robertson against Havlicek. 1.5 to play in a ball game. A 2-point West lead. East leads in the series 14-7. Jerry West with the ball, has room. And the Los Angeles crowd thunders their appreciation of Jerry West, 11 points. And it's a 4-point West lead at 1:15 to go in the game. Frazier had to get rid of it, and Havlicek saved it. A good defensive play by West, forcing Walt to do that. West almost stole it again, but Havlicek scores. So the East fights back and trail by only 2 with 1:02 to play in the game. They're serious.
Those
now.
4 guys you see right there are 4 of the greatest players that ever played this game. Havlicek, West, Frazier, and Oscar.
Oscar go all the way, but a whistle stopped it before the shot. And Manny Sokol calls the foul and draws the ire of sweet gentle Tom Heinsohn. Tommy was laughing yesterday. He says, I don't know if my voice is going to hold out for the rest of the season. He's become quite an orator on that bench. Foul was on Havlicek.
Orator, huh?
Orator, yes.
Is that what you call it?
Oscar on the line, 47 seconds to play in the game, and he knocks the first one through. There's Tommy. Oh, he was a competitor, wasn't he?
Definitely.
Still is. Oscar makes two. And it's a 4-point lead, and time is called with 47 seconds to play in the ball game. We'll be back for the finish in just a moment. Here's a look at the leading scorers for the East with 47 seconds to play in the ball game, and the West leading the East by a score of 110 to 106. The leading scorers for the West, Connie Hawkins has not played in some time. You see Jerry West now has moved up into the double figures along with Oscar Robertson. A lot of fellas in double figures. Everybody has played tonight. We've come down to the final 47 seconds to settle it. The East will send out Billy Cunningham, Walt Frazier, John Havlicek, Dave Cowens, and Dave DeBuscher. Here's a shot by Havlicek. And it's a 2-point West lead. It comes inside to Jerry West, now Oscar, Wilt Chamberlain, Cassie Russell, and Spencer Haywood. That's been the combination that Bill Sharman elected to go with here in the final moments of the ball game. 25 seconds to play. Cassie Russell of the Golden State Warriors. Short off the front rim. They had to shoot it. Here comes Frazier. The East could tie it. 13 seconds. Cunningham drives. Dave Cowens scores ties. Cowens hit the bucket. And we're tied at 110. And time is called with 11 seconds to play.
This will give you ulcers.
Well, for a brief time, it looked like the West was going to run away with it and win it rather comfortably.
Well, that's what's so great about these games. It's never over. It's never over. Now, they're going to probably wait until there's about 2 seconds to go, maybe one even, because even if they miss, they haven't lost it. But they don't want to give the other team a chance to get another shot off, so they're going to wait probably to the last second. But most likely they'll try to shoot with maybe 2 or 3 seconds so there's a chance for a tip-in case they miss.
You've got a team of all-stars. Great. I assume that same lineup will come back on the court. Who will take the shot?
Well, I'd have to go with either Oscar or West, either one. Not knowing, not even thinking about who the other guys are. Those two guys out there, either one of those guys is my shooter.
Not too bad. All right, if you're the East now, the monkey's on your back. What can you do?
Well, I'm going to try to give the guy throwing the ball in bounds a lot of grief. Really play him out there, try to make it a tough pass.
What you want to do is make the West have to shoot in a hurry.
Right, I want to make them shoot from a distance. I don't want to let them get inside. So I'm making a pass so I try to make them get it close to clear it out of bounds maybe. And I try to make it tough. Now, if West is taken out, I try to make it tough for Oscar to get the ball. So they'll probably have to give it to Cassie Russell, and he'll probably go toward half court. He said to pick for Oscar.
It comes to Oscar, and it's almost stolen by Frazier. Knocked out of bounds. They use 2 seconds. 9 seconds to play.
They still got to go to the front court. Now you're going to have Jerry West probably get it, and he's going to try to go all the way, most likely.
8 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3,
2 points.
2. It's over!
You can see that coming. You know he's going to get the 2. But the game's not over yet.
It's not over. 1 tick of the clock left. Tick of the clock. And there is Mrs. Jerry West.
You can anticipate that going in.
Yes, sir.
You can see that in the back court.
Well, you call time, and the East team had been trying to do exactly that. The moment that ball hit the twine, time was called, and by calling time, you pick up 47 of the 94 feet of court.
Right, they got to throw the ball in the front court. And they got just enough time to get the ball in and take a shot. So they're going to probably try to get a pass to someone on the baseline or somewhere near the foul line. Because they don't have time to dribble or anything. They got to take that ball and take that shot all in one motion.
You would assume that Tom Heinsohn will send the same group of men out. Cowens, Cunningham, Frazier, Havlicek.
They got 3 guys they could give a shot to. Frazier, Havlicek.
Well, it was Cowens who tied it. DeBusschere will play it in.
I was going to say DeBusschere, but since he's taken out of bounds.
It may be Cowens. He may try to get away from Wilt.
I think Wilt will follow him out now.
Stolen by Russell. The ball game is over. So Jerry West, who hit the basket with 1 second to go to win it for the West, 112 to 110, is the most valuable player in the ball game. Jerry West. Wow. Walter Kennedy comes onto the floor, the commissioner of the NBA, to make the trophy presentation to the most valuable player. Jerry West with 13 points. He stole the ball 6 times. He scored 7 points in the 4th quarter, and he hit the basket that won the ball game for the West, 112 to 110. And now the series stands 14 wins for the East, 8 wins for the West. So a man named West wins it for the West. Final score, the West 112, the East 110. From the Forum in Los Angeles, California. The executive producer of NBA basketball is Roone Arledge. Today's game produced by Jeff Mason, directed by Larry King, technical director John Allen. Don't forget this Saturday the Professional Bowlers Association Showboat Invitational from Las Vegas, followed on ABC's Wide World of Sports by the National Figure Skating Championship and a special Super Bowl analysis with Joe Namath. Next Sunday on NBA basketball, the New York Knicks and the Seattle Supersonics. Now this is Keith Jackson and Bill Russell saying so long from the Forum in Los Angeles, California. NBA basketball brought to you by your American Motors dealer, who backs all his new 72s with American Motors Fire Protection Plan. Whole idea is to do more for you after you buy a car. By Gillette Foamy Shave Cream for the good close shave with protection against nicks. And by Sears Die Hard Battery with extra starting power to start your car when most batteries won't.